My sleep is fucked, and probably yours too. But this wasn't like this when I was a child. I can clearly remember that my sleep was actually really great, but something throughout the years just completely changed the way that I sleep. And I don't like that, because I wanna wake up earlier, I wanna fall asleep faster, I don't wanna be waking up in the middle of the night, and I just wanna sleep like a baby again, you know? But is it actually possible? During these last days, I took the decision to finally make a change about my sleep. So I started to do some research about this again, because I've already tried this and found some helpful tips. But the truth is that for some reason I wasn't able to fix my sleep schedule, and all because of technology. I'm connected all day with my devices, like all of us. I watch videos, I learn things, talk to my friends. So my initial goal was to wake up at 6 a.m. and go to sleep around 10 or 9:30 consistently. So I started watching a lot of videos, taking notes, and the first thing that everyone talked about was something really obvious that almost everyone ignores: overstimulation. Trying to shut your brain off instantly when it's time to sleep is like forcing an F1 car to stop, but using the brakes of a regular street car. The brakes aren't strong enough to handle that kind of speed, so instead of stopping smoothly, the car will just skid out of control. The same happens with your brain. If you don't give it enough time to wind down, it keeps racing, making it hard to fall asleep. So that's why I really try to stick with a night routine. So every day at 8 p.m. I stop using social media, and I try not to look for anything in the internet and just do other things to calm my mind. So while I was trying to find useful tips to sleep better, a lot of people mentioned to sleep in dark environments or using a sleep mask like this one. My girlfriend gifted to me, okay? I didn't buy this. Keeping your room at a cool temperature, around 18 degrees Celsius or 65 Fahrenheit, using red lights or read mode in your devices a few hours before going to bed, because blue lights can reduce your melatonin levels, which won't help with your sleep cycles. And I just felt like there were a lot of things to do, but I always found myself doing the same thing over and over again, which was not doing anything. And that was because, yeah, these things are useful, but for some reason, I just felt like I was looking for something else. That's when I learned about this concept called revenge bedtime procrastination. This is basically when you stay up late, even though you know you should be sleeping. It's like a way of getting back at your busy day because you didn't have enough free time. So you scroll on your phone, watch videos, just to feel like you have some control over your time, even if it makes you more tired the next day. And this is something I've been doing for a long time. So now my goal was to see how to stop doing it. But something else started to happen as well. Because as soon as I would stop consuming content, I would start worrying and thinking about a lot of different things. That is because distractions suppress your emotions. That's why it's so important to disconnect and have some free time, not only before going to bed, but also during the day. Because in my case, for example, it's been like really hard not to think about my future or my job or things like that. So we need time to think, make decisions, and reflect. Here's a clip I really liked from Matthew Walker, a neuroscientist and sleep expert, talking about this.
Everything seems twice as bad in the dark of night versus the light of day. In the modern world, we're constantly on reception. Very rarely do we do reflection. And now, the only time based on modernity and how it inflects us that we do reflection is when our head hits the pillow at night. That's the worst time to do reflection, because when you start to have that kind of wheel of anxiety whirring, you begin to ruminate. When you ruminate, you catastrophize. And at that point, you're dead in the water for the next 2 hours.
When I watched this clip, something clicked. This made me realize that in order to sleep faster, I needed to have some free time to reflect, but not too late right before going to sleep. But you know what's missing here? The most important thing. And if it wasn't because of this, I would still have a shitty sleep. And that is to have a reason to wake up. Because if you have to wake up to go to school or your job, yeah, you'll do it, of course. But if you're waking up for a reason that actually aligns with a bigger goal that motivates you in some kind of way, that's when your sleep schedule will actually change. And that's what helped me a lot. Now, let me show you this clip from Dr. K talking about sleep to understand this better.
So what we really want to do to be able to sleep at night is, if we procrastinated, if we haven't done enough work, our brain will say, we have not done our allotted work for the day. This is actually not sufficient. And then it will actually keep us awake. The more work that you do, the better off you will be at going to sleep, because now your brain says, okay, I got a lot done today. I feel good about this. And so it's okay. And it's not about whether it's enough or it's good enough or anything like that. You just need to do some kind of work.
This is the moment I really felt like I found a solution to fix my sleep. And this solution was to literally take more action. If I take action and do things during the day that really matter to me, that's gonna help me not to overthink too much. And what I did with all the information I found so far is to create my own routine. So I realized I was overstimulating myself all day, which made it harder to wind down at night. So what did I do about it? Well, first, I tried not to consume content for about an hour and 30 minutes before bed. If that's too much for you, you can start with less time, whatever works for you. And what about the overthinking that comes when I start getting distracted? I would use a journal to write down my worries, but I will only do this in the beginning of the night routine. So let's say it starts at 8 p.m. and I go to sleep at 9:30. In that case, I would do it at 8, then I would just relax, read something, or organize my next day. And these are some useful tips I also started implementing my routine. But after all these days looking into it, messing up, and trying to fix my sleep, did I actually manage to stick to my goal of waking up at 6 a.m. and going to bed around 10 and 9:30? Honestly, I haven't been able to wake up every single day at 6 a.m., but it worked. Now, I usually wake up between 6 and 7 a.m., which is a huge improvement compared to a few weeks ago when I was waking up at around 8 or 10:30 a.m. So yeah, I would say that this routine was actually worth it. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like it, and I'll see you in the next one.